At 7 a.m., Caitlin Clark was teeing off on the golf course, directly beside Nelly Korda. Talk about a power dynamic. Then, sure enough, Steph Curry hit the links later that morning. Furthermore, he attended a well-known LPGA event that was hosted by golf great Annika Sorenstam. This is a gold mine for the WNBA. They're not doing anything with the millions of social media impressions that Caitlin's golf gig has generated. Throughout the WNBA off-season, the LPGA is out there complimenting her, as well as WNBA cricket. When 2 hours of their whole entire year has such an impact on their entire childhood, and I think that's really cool to think about, and, that's the reason that you play. It's not because of the wins and the points you score, it's the amount of joy that you can bring people and the young girls that will one day grow up to hopefully, be whatever. Thank you, really. LPGA. When Caitlin Clark performed on the LPGA Tour, she attracted a larger audience than the tour often does. Let's examine the recent basketball promotion that the LPGA ran at one of their main events. Known for her basketball prowess, Caitlin exchanged footwear for golf spikes. The WNBA's silence is deafening, to be honest. Compared to buzzer beaters, it is louder. There was complete commotion as supporters virtually begged to watch her play over the tournament's phone lines. And here's the initial idea. Caitlin's golf debut would not be covered by television. Here's the problem now. No controversy, no discussion about poisonous fans, and no grievances about her taking the limelight away from the pros were there. Not at all. While Caitlin was out on the course, the LPGA paid heed to the spectators and made her the center of attention. Despite having all of its resources, the WNBA hardly acknowledged Caitlin's outstanding rookie campaign, much less her pro debut. On golf courses, I want to go to golf events when I was a young kid, or basketball events, and it can really change your life if they can have one interaction with you. So just trying to make as much time as I can to sign an autograph for a young kid, or give them a ball, or give them a high five, because that goes. Could we take a moment to go back in time and discuss the backstory? The LPGA just demonstrated to the WNBA and everyone else how to promote a celebrity. Fans were virtually pleading to watch Caitlin perform, despite the fact that the prom was not originally scheduled to be shown on television. After several phone conversations, emails, and perhaps some carrier pigeons, the LPGA gave in and said, "All right, let's give the people what they want." It was also a big success. Fans are already questioning if the LPGA can generate as much excitement from a single golf round. Consider what the WNBA could do over the course of a season. The LPGA wasn't the only organization to benefit from Caitlin Clark's golf debut. It served as a warning to all athletic associations. Make the most of your stars. Develop their brand. Caitlin's visit was not only a celebrity cameo, thanks to the LPGA. They put a lot of effort into earning the benefits after realizing her celebrity potential. Fans are not pleased with the WNBA's radio silence. One of the top golfers in the world at the moment, Nelly Korda, was matched with Caitlin by the LPGA. It wasn't a coincidence. It was a well-planned action. It's more than just a headline when two of the top personalities in their respective sports get together. It's an occasion. The league that contributed to Caitlin's brand development, the WNBA, refused to even recognize it. Fans, however, were going crazy. They promoted their best athlete and highlighted Caitlin through social media buzz and demanded live broadcasts. Even though she had a fantastic first season and significantly increased WNBA viewership, the league seemed unwilling to completely accept her as its face. The critics claim that they are overly preoccupied with drawing attention to themselves, but come on, it's very clear that Caitlin is the one drawing people in. Additionally, the league has already been charged for under-promoting her. The LPGA attracted basketball, golf, and non-WNA fans by using her crossover appeal. The WNBA lost a fantastic chance to pay tribute to one of its greatest players and expand its fan base. The distinction is obvious. When the LPGA realized Caitlin's potential, they seized it. She is a celebrity who elevates every stage she is on, even though the WNBA is still working to catch up. The LPGA made a significant profit from their investment in Caitlin Clark's reputation. She wasn't just there to fill a place at the prom. She swung that club, leaving a trail of moments that went viral. The WNBA is keeping quiet, Presumably unsure if anybody will take notice. We all spotted the spoiler. Caitlin and Nelly Korda weren't the only pairing the LPGA made. She was teamed with the most well-known figure in women's golf. Social media took off. Fans of basketball, golf, and even her grandfather, who finds golf dull, were watching. While social media was ablaze and item sales skyrocketed, the LPGA was performing backflips. In the meanwhile, the environment at the WNBA has been, to put it mildly, intriguing. How did the league let Asia Wilson and Angel Reese torment her? There hasn't been a single tweet or even a "hey, look at Caitlin out there on the golf course" from the beginning of the season till the playoffs. Nothing was said in response to the numerous social media complaints and requests for an explanation on their failure to acknowledge Caitlin's crossover appeal. Let's be honest. A certain amount of advertising is necessary for a player like Caitlin Clark, who attracts a lot of attention and spectators. Why, then, is there no sound? The WNBA, according to some, doesn't want to be biased. With the words, "Let's make Caitlin the star and bring in the crowds," the LPGA seized the chance. And you know what? Fans of golf and basketball quickly became best friends. They were aware that Caitlin's "I'm not a golf pro" statements would be quite effective. Additionally, they didn't appreciate how the WNBA was acting as though Caitlin didn't exist. It's similar to seeing someone enter a party and begin dancing, as everyone else awkwardly stands with their backs to the wall, sipping punch. How is the LPGA responding to this, then? Experts, observers, and even seasoned NBA insiders agree that Caitlin is being treated like a benchwarmer by the WNBA. Playing it safe is no longer an option for the WNBA. The league has to completely rethink its marketing approach. Not only changes, but a daring redesign of its star promotion strategy. Performance is not the only factor in today's sports environment. It all comes down to connection, charisma, and narrative. One genuine and charismatic athlete may attract a whole generation of fans to the stadium, as demonstrated by Caitlin Clark. However, the LPGA seized her time and made it a worldwide spectacle, in sharp contrast to the WNBA's cautious, reluctant, and unduly political handling of her ascent. People in the sports world paused to see Caitlin enter the golf course. But the LPGA strategy was unique for reasons other than the event itself. It was the way they portrayed her. They weren't afraid of her notoriety. They didn't consider the opinions of other players on the publicity. Rather, they understood the wider picture. Everyone might benefit from her accomplishment. The LPGA seized an opportunity when it presented itself. They made Caitlin's first outing more than a simple round of golf. By matching her with Nelly Korda and granting cameras complete access, they turned it into a movement. They crafted a narrative that transcended athletics. It attracted new sponsors, admirers, and discussions concerning women's sports. Golf was no longer the only topic of conversation. It focused on what happens when a company lets its stars shine because it believes in them. Her influence was not lessened by the LPGA. They made it louder. They centered their marketing around her, presenting her as a link between audiences and sporting cultures. Her achievement was not viewed as a threat by them. They handled it like a present, and that is what the WNBA must comprehend. They claim that Caitlin Clark's celebrity is more than simply a promotional tool. It serves as a lifeline. This is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to rebrand the league as a whole and draw in millions of casual viewers who may have never seen women's basketball before. However, the WNBA must overcome its own political anxieties in order to achieve that. They must begin to view individual fame as the basis for development rather than as a danger. Examine any prosperous sports league in the world, such as Formula One or the NBA. Because they value individual greatness, they all prosper. LeBron, Curry, Jordan, Kobe, tennis, Serena, Federer, Nadal, golf, and Tiger Woods come to mind when one thinks of the NBA. These days, Caitlin Clark comes to mind when one thinks of women's sports. Here's the worst part, though. The LPGA saw the opportunity and took advantage of it. The WNBA paused. They were concerned with balance, justice, and optics, and they ran the danger of not commemorating anybody in their quest to satisfy everyone. That error was not made by the LPGA. They took a chance, and it paid off. The ratings were really high. Social media took off. Sponsors waited in queue just to see Caitlin tee off. Fans who had never watched women's golf immediately turned in. Effective marketing does that. It creates moments. Culture is produced by it. Additionally, it links opportunity with emotion. The WNBA must take a cue from the strategy if it hopes to remain relevant. Caitlin Clark must become the focal point of an international effort. She embodies everything not because she is flawless. Authenticity, sensitivity, and determination appeal to the next generation of followers. She is more than simply a sportswoman. She is a moving tale, and sports are sold on narrative. The WNBA must realize that elevating Caitlin does not imply displacing other athletes. It entails uplifting the ecology as a whole. When a league's best player becomes a household name, it helps every club, rookie, and fan. The NBA expanded in this way. The LPGA just leveled up in this way. The WNBA currently has an option. Hold on to antiquated strategies or change, adapt, and advance in tandem with Caitlin Clark's inexorable pace. The Caitlin impact of the LPGA shown a powerful force. Everyone benefits when brilliance is celebrated rather than controlled and genius is allowed to flourish. This has evolved beyond basketball and golf. It concerns women's sports future. The WNBA may undergo a metamorphosis unlike anything it has ever seen if it follows the LPGA's example and makes investments in player-driven marketing, visibility and narrative, increased worldwide significance, sponsorships and fans. But they run the risk of losing her if they don't, if they keep playing the part while their best star keeps shining brighter than they do. Not only to golf or Europe, but to a whole new age when leagues that pay attention to their players and supporters will set the standard. The true issue then becomes whether the WNBA will take a cue from the LPGA's masterclass, or if they will pass up another chance. There's no denying that Caitlin Clark has already initiated an unavoidable topic. Her success in a variety of fields has changed the landscape of women's sports.